Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and today is my video to share everything that I've been working on probably since like Wednesday night, Thursday. I have a huge pile of things here that I'm going to show you. So the first thing is my whip. I am making another Adirondack wrap. So here is my first triangle. The second triangle that I'm working on, I did not do a very thorough job of making sure that all my cakes were in the same order when I bought them. So this one I'm having to cut and pull the colors out so that they're in the same order as this one. So I'm 1.5 shawl triangles done. So all in all, the shawl Adirondack wrap is 3 triangles and I'm 1.5, so I'm halfway done. So that is my whip. I've talked about the Adirondack wrap previously quite a bit, so if you want to check out other videos about that, I kind of break down the pattern because it is kind of difficult to read, but once you've figured out her layout and her way of doing things, it's a very simple pattern. In fact, now I don't even look at the pattern anymore. I just make it. So that is my whip. My semi whip is a cowl that I started. This I started out of the knit crate. Whoop, mosquito. Okay, so side note, in Wisconsin, we are overrun with mosquitoes right now. I don't know if that's just a worldwide thing or a statewide thing or just the Fox Valley, but literally they're everywhere. And whenever my kids come in and out of the house, mosquitoes come in and out with them. And did you see that? I grabbed one. Because I am very susceptible to mosquitoes eating me. Okay, so side note, the cowl. So before I bought Laurel's cowl from the Dabbling Hook, I thought, you know what, I'll try to make a cowl, just see what I have, see what I can do. So I started, I'll hold it right up, started making this cowl. As you can see, this is what it looks like. I'm using the knit crate yarn, I want to say that came in the July knit crate. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, so I kind of came up with this pattern myself. It's a front post double crochet and the cross stitch, aka the X stitch as I like to say it. This is the right side, this is the wrong side, although I really do like these rows, but the problem is I ran out of yarn. This is exactly how wide it is, and I feel like if I were to take this last bit here, if you will, it's just not thick enough. It's not enough to go around twice, and it's not tall enough. And then because I'm doing the front post double crochet, maybe I should lower this camera a little. Because I'm doing the front post double crochet, I feel like it's kind of stiff. So I'm going to frog it and think of something else to do with this. I originally was going to do a cowl to go with that hat out of the same yarn. So now I've decided I'm going to make it out of this yarn. This is the Yarn Bees Andes Alpaca Paradise. It's 102 yards, and I believe it's a, well, you should see what they have on this pattern. This is hilarious. This is an acrylic alpaca mix. Look at what they want you to make with it. There's the pattern. Do you see that? It's like a little head wrap with a little pom-pom. Is that not the funniest thing? I will not be making that. But I'm going to try to make this cowl. And then if it all goes well, I'm going to write a pattern out for it. It's really not that difficult. It's all double crochets. Just different ways to do the double crochet, if you can see it again. I really like the variegated. So anyway, that is sort of a whip, so I'm going to frog that. I'm going to make it in this. And then I still don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn. I want to make something that goes with that hat. Maybe I'll just make another hat because that hat came out exactly with one skein, I don't know how you're supposed to say it, of this yarn from Knit Crate. So that is project number 2 and 3 that I'm working on. Now, one more project that I'm going to be working on. I saw this on Setta's place, and actually, so Setta and a few other folks did one of these videos where they talked about things that they repurposed for crochet or with crochet. And one of the things Seta did and another gal did was they covered a jar with crochet. And you know what? That just, I don't know what, it seems so appealing to me. And just that day, my husband finished this giant pickle jar. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to cover this in crochet. One gal covered hers with crochet and made it look like a little owl, which is super cute. I haven't yet decided. I'm definitely going to be using some red heart. But that is something else that I want to have done before my next video, is I want to cover this jar in crochet. So that is going to be a whip. This is the starting. So I've got one whip, two kind of weird things going on that I'm not sure in regards to this cowl. And I'm going to cover that jar in crochet. Now yesterday, after I think it was Thursday night, going to Walmart, getting the supplies for Laurel's big button cowl. Then I realized, after digging all through my house, I could not find a crochet hook. The 10 millimeter, I believe, or the 9, I don't remember, 9 or 10. I looked everywhere, couldn't find it, so I had to go to Joann's. Luckily, they had a 60% off one regular priced item, so I got my Clover Amour, I think it's a 10 millimeter hook, for 60% off at $8.99. And so I was ready to start making some cowls. Now, I did not do as many as our dear friend Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, but I got this one right here. I like this one the best. This is the one the yarn that I bought at Walmart, so you guys can see better. This is the one that I bought, the Lions brand yarn. Oh wait, it goes like this. There we go. I really like this cowl. So I made this one. This one I started it Friday night and finished it Saturday morning. Okay. Or if I can hold it in the video for you to see. You know, just like that. Here it is. I made this one. Then I needed another big button. Oh no, when I bought the crochet hook, that's when I noticed that Joann had a bunch of yarn in the clearance section in the back. They had a wall of clearance yarn. And so I bought, here, you know what, I'm going to pause and get the labels for it, just so that I can be sure to tell you, as I move all the stuff that I'm piling in my lap, what I made these out of. Just a sec. Okay, so the first one I did make out of, well, I threw that yarn label away, but this is the remainder of it. I know it's Lion brand, and it just was a little bit short, I think, of the 160 yards that you need. So I have about this much left. The next one I made out of Premier Yarns Serenity. And again, there's only, how many yards? I really should look all this stuff up ahead of time, and then I'll just be like, oh, just saying it. I can't even find it on here. Well, oh, here it is, 93 yards. So I used one full skein, and again, I have a partial. And this is this cowl. And at that point, oh, look how sparkly it is. I love it. I'm going to put it on. Look at that. I really like it. The sparkles in real life don't look that bright as they do in this video. So I made this, and then I had to go back to Joann's to get another big button, because the package of buttons I bought at Walmart, the other big button was broken. It was cracked. So I made this big button cowl. So that's 2. And so I have this partial. Then I bought this Serenity Chunky. This is Deborah Norval's Premier. But unfortunately, this is 109 yards, and it's a little short, and they didn't have 2. But look how pretty that is. So it's purple with some flecks of red and some like lighter flecks, like a pinkish red. So I was thinking about doing either a black border, maybe putting those two together. I don't know, because I really would like to get another cowl, and I really want this purple. So this is kind of kind of in motion, because I definitely don't think, if I can find that pink, I don't think this pink goes well at all with it. Well, it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great. And I'd like to get one more cowl out of this bulky stuff. So we'll see. I'll play around with it. Maybe I'll use all three. But I did make a third cowl. I'm not as happy with this one. This one I made with the Bernat blanket yarn. I know Debbie said she made one, and they had a big bin of them. I can't even figure out how to hold this one. They had a big bin of them for $6.99. Here it is. So it's super soft, but it's really just, you kind of lose the pattern in it, and you definitely don't see the buttons because it's not as stiff as regular acrylic yarn, but it does look warm and fuzzy in the video. My hair's at that horrible length where it doesn't tuck in very well and it doesn't stick out very well. So I don't know, I did make one out of this Bernat blanket yarn. The colors up close, I'll show you, are super pretty. Look at that. It was so beautiful, but it's so floppy compared to the acrylic. So there it is. There's and I ran out of big buttons, so I used 2 buttons right here and here, and they're just on for decoration, so technically you don't even need them. So that was 3 cowls that I made with the big button cowl pattern. I don't know if it's still $2.80, but that's how much it was for me when I bought it. And because I do have a craft fair / event coming up in October, I thought, you know, this will be a nice, easy thing that I can whip out. Quite a few. I made 3 yesterday, well, 2 and 2/3. You know, and you know, maybe I can sell them for like $15, $20 each. I don't know. So that's pretty much what I've got going on here. That is all I've been crocheting. I'd say this has been the best crochet weekend I've had in a long time. Technically, I should have been outside with my son, walking the neighborhood selling popcorn for Boy Scouts, but I decided to just sit at home and crochet yesterday and then zip over to Joann's and buy a couple skeins of bulky yarn and big buttons. But I mean, in camera, this doesn't look that bad to do. I don't know. I want to do one more with this regular acrylic. But that's what I have. That is all, folks. I don't know quite how to make these videos much longer, but I really either just talk super fast or I don't really do as much as some of these other people. Yeah, I really don't even think I have any much else to say. I'm making another Adirondack wrap. I'm going to try to get this pattern out for the cowl, to do it in here, do it in this yarn. That cowl that I'm trying to design. And then I made 3 of Laurel's cowls, and I want to make a 4th. So that's that. Oh, the reason I'm dressed up, I could tell you. I don't know if you feel like this is dressed up. It's a little fancier shirt, and I do have my makeup and my hair done, which I don't think you guys ever get to see me with any makeup on. Is today the Christ Child Society, part of the group that I volunteer with, had a shower of love or a luncheon to raise money for our group. So I did that today. Last year they let me sell some of my stuff there, and this year I just came, just sat and ate and watched their luncheon, and now I'm back home. But that's it, folks. That's all I have for today's video. That's about all I've been working on. I did not go as crazy on the cowls as Debbie, but I'll tell you what, I really love this pink one. This is the finished cowl that I shopped for on Thursday night's video. The yarn I used to make it. It looks so cute, I think. And I do like the big wood button with this one. So that's it. Until the next video, happy crafting.